Welcome to Bob Lamb Outdoors again. Hey, have you ever had beaver sausage? I haven't either, but I'm going to show you how it's done. A longtime friend, Ed Stelner, has a cabin, very nice cabin, south of Leon, Wisconsin, which is just south of Sparta. And Ed says, I look at your YouTube channel and you guys talk about the beaver meat and that. He says, how do you make it? And I said, well, I just make a simple hot beefs. And he said, oh. And I said, well, if anybody ever would like the recipe, I said, they can go to bob@boblambOutdoors.com. And I said, I'll send them the recipe that I use. I said, it's simple. And Ed says, well, why don't you bring up some beaver meat? And on January 13th, he said, we always process all our venison and wild game that we've harvested and that in the fall. And he said, we've got a crew of 8-9 guys that do it. And I said, sounds good. So I went up there the Thursday before. I went up January 11th because we were expecting that big snowstorm Friday and Saturday. But I wanted to get them the meat anyway. So I took the meat up there, and Ed took me to Steve Leese's property, just a half-mile from Ed's place. And Steve is a contractor. He's retired also like Ed. And they walked me through the process in this big building that Steve has, that these guys have accumulated all this different equipment they've found at auctions. For example, walk-in cooler. They've got grinders and mixers and sausage makers and trimming tables, and it's quite a process. So they walked me through the process, gave me a dry run on that, and I did some videos on that. And then I obviously couldn't make it up Saturday because of the storm. So Ed was gracious enough to do a couple of very short videos, and he sent several pictures to me. So we'd like to have you check these out on our channel. And it's just another part of our Beaver Tales saga that's been ongoing here. So we hope you enjoy it. Bob Lamb. I'm with Steve Leese. And Steve's an old Cashton grad. But Steve, tell us a little bit about your life here in we're up on Manhattan Road, outside of Leon, right?
That's correct, Bob. I got out of high school and went through the Army, made it back home, worked as a federal employee until I retired. Meanwhile, I had built a log home up by the home farm, but I come across this chunk of property here down in here, and I think around 2000 built this shop here in about 2002 and been here ever since, and been doing a little hunting. I do excavating for a living. I got trucks, excavators. Since I retired from the government, I actually was in the business before I retired, but I've been retired now for 20-some years. So, do a little hunting here and there and all over, I guess you could say. Anywhere from Alaska to New Zealand to Minnesota, Colorado, New Mexico, Idaho, and Utah.
Wow,
so I've been in a few places.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of wild animals, haven't you?
And I did trapping for years on the Mississippi, along with around here. And I hunted dogs for 40 years, done that. Now I just hunt for fun with dogs with some of my friends. Matter of fact, I got a bobcat tag this year.
How'd you do?
It's going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
First snow was yesterday, so.
Oh, and because you don't really want to start until it snows.
No, the season runs the 26th of December to the 31st of January.
Uh-huh.
So
Do you have many bobcat around here?
Oh yeah, there's quite a few.
Uh-huh.
I killed one 3 years ago up by Ho-Chunl by Black River. And I happened to draw another tag this year, so I'm hoping the luck continues. But
Yeah.
first thing we finally got our snow, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Steve, the reason I'm up here is I know you started deer processing and meat processing, elk. You do everything up here. So we're going to have you and Ed Stelner give us a little tour of the place, okay?
All right.